In this NerdBytes episode, we're going to explore a new query capability available with the New Relic Data Plus offering, 10-minute queries. Prior to the launch of 10-minute queries, all Nurgle queries were limited to a 1-minute duration, meaning that if a query was complex enough to need more than 1 minute of processing, you would experience a query timeout error and you would not get your results. The only possible fix was to reduce the time window or reduce the complexity of the query. We wanted to support New Relic users with complex query needs, so now with the launch of 10-minute queries, you're unlikely to see a query timeout error anymore when you run a query within NerdGraph. Now, to demonstrate this capability, I'm going to be querying a lot of data within logs in this particular account. I'm going to run this query that uses a regex capture, which is a really expensive operation, and I'm only going to look at 10 minutes of data just to demonstrate the query running. As you can see, we're looking at 149 million events just in this 10-minute time span. And you can imagine, once I move this out to 1 day, this is going to scan a lot more data. And so in my first attempt, you can see that the query builder is showing a spinner, and it's likely going to time out. I've ran this query a couple times, and I know this is going to time out when I run this in the UI. Currently, the query builder has an older query duration limit of 1 minute. We'll be enhancing this to include the 10-minute max duration in a later release. Now let's switch over to NerdGraph and run the same query. To allow for longer queries, we need to capture a couple key elements you might not have seen before. In particular, I need to mark this query as async and capture this query progress object that contains this query ID. To support extremely long queries, we built in this asynchronous query API flow to allow the query to complete in the background. Then to retrieve the results, I'll periodically poll for the results using this query ID. Now let's run this query. As you can see, the query has not been completed, but it did give me this query ID back. And so now I can poll for the results. I'll paste in this other snippet of NerdGraph query, and then I'll continuously poll for the query results and wait for it to be completed. Now finally, I get my results, and it looks like 433,000 is the answer. This technique is currently limited to the NerdGraph API, and the initial launch is perfect for your scripting or reporting needs. We will be adding 10-minute query support to various UIs in the coming months. The full details of how to use 10-minute queries is in the description of this video.